In the heart of the Galactic Council chamber, tension rose as the council members listened to the fragmented transmission from the missing Recon fleet. The room, usually a place of composed deliberation, now buzzed with urgency. Counselor Draven, an imposing figure known for his stern demeanor, stood at the forefront, his expression grave. "Captain Jonathan Archer, we need your expertise," Draven announced, his voice echoing in the vast hall. "You are to lead a mission to uncover what happened to our Recon fleet. This is a matter of utmost importance." Captain Jonathan Archer, a respected officer with a history of successful missions, stepped forward. His sharp features and determined gaze reflected his readiness for the challenge. "I understand, Counselor. I'll gather my team and depart immediately." As Jonathan exited the chamber, he couldn't help but feel a mix of anticipation and concern. He had faced numerous dangers in his career, but the unknown always carried its own weight. He headed to the docking bay, where his ship, the Celestial Voyager, awaited. His crew was already assembling. Lieutenant Daniel Hayes, his trusted first officer, greeted him with a nod. "Ready for another adventure, Captain?" Jonathan managed a brief smile. "Always, Lieutenant. Let's get moving." Dr. Alice Sinclair, a brilliant scientist with an insatiable curiosity, approached with a data pad in hand. "Captain, I've been analyzing the signal from the Recon fleet. It's like nothing we've encountered before. We need to be prepared for anything." Jonathan appreciated her thoroughness. "That's why you're here, Doctor. Your expertise will be invaluable." Sergeant Liam O'Connor, the ship's engineer, joined them, wiping his hands on his coveralls. "Everything's in working order, Captain. We're good to go." With the crew ready and the ship prepared, they set off towards the coordinates where the Recon fleet was last seen. The journey began smoothly, but the sense of foreboding grew as they ventured deeper into uncharted space. Jonathan couldn't shake the feeling that they were heading into unknown dangers. Navigating through a dense asteroid field tested the crew's skills and teamwork. Lieutenant Hayes deftly maneuvered the ship while Dr. Sinclair monitored the sensors, detecting strange anomalies that added to the tension. Suddenly, the ship was jolted by a surge of energy, causing lights to flicker and alarms to blare. "We've got a power fluctuation, Captain," O'Connor reported, his voice steady despite the urgency. "It's affecting our systems." "Do what you need to, Sergeant," Jonathan replied. "We can't afford any malfunctions out here." O'Connor worked tirelessly, his hands moving with practiced ease. Within minutes, he stabilized the power, and the ship's systems returned to normal. Jonathan felt a surge of pride in his crew's resilience and skill. As they continued their journey, they encountered more anomalies. Strange signals interfered with their communications, and unexplained phenomena disrupted their instruments. Dr. Sinclair spent hours analyzing the data, her mind racing with theories. One night, as Jonathan stood alone on the bridge, gazing into the infinite expanse of space, Hayes approached. "Something on your mind, Captain?" Jonathan sighed, his thoughts drifting to his brother, who had disappeared on a similar mission years ago. "I can't help but think about my brother. He vanished under circumstances just like these. I need to find out what happened to him." Hayes placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "We'll find the answers, Jonathan. Together." Days later, they arrived at the coordinates. The sight that greeted them was haunting. The wreckage of the Recon fleet floated silently, debris scattered like a graveyard of ships. Signs of a catastrophic battle were evident, but there were no bodies, no signs of life. As they explored the wreckage, Dr. Sinclair's voice crackled over the comms. "Captain, I found something. It looks like alien technology, far more advanced than anything we've seen." Jonathan's heart raced. "Secure it and bring it aboard. We need to understand what we're dealing with." Back on the Celestial Voyager, the crew examined the alien technology, their minds filled with questions and fears. Jonathan knew they were on the brink of a discovery that could change everything. But with the dangers they faced, he also knew it could be their undoing. "We have to be prepared for anything," Jonathan said, his voice resolute. "No matter what happens, we stick together and face it head-on." The celestial Voyager moved gracefully through space, each member of the crew fully aware of the gravity of their mission. Jonathan Archer stood at the helm, his eyes scanning the vast expanse before them. The recent discovery of the alien technology aboard the wreckage had everyone on edge. "Captain, the anomalies are increasing in frequency," Dr. Sinclair reported, her fingers dancing over the control panel. "I've never seen anything like this." Jonathan nodded. "Keep monitoring, Doctor. We need to stay ahead of whatever's causing these disruptions." O'Connor's voice came through the comm system, steady and composed. "All systems are operational, Captain, but I'm detecting unusual energy readings from the alien device we brought on board. Can you isolate the source?" Jonathan asked, his curiosity piqued. "Working on it," O'Connor replied. "It's unlike any technology we've encountered." As they ventured deeper, the disturbances grew more intense. The ship shuddered as another wave of energy passed through it, lights flickering momentarily. Lieutenant Hayes tightened his grip on the controls, guiding the ship with precision through the erratic space. "Captain, we're approaching the coordinates of the last transmission," Hayes announced. "No visual confirmation yet." Jonathan leaned forward, eyes narrowing. "Prepare for anything. We don't know what we're walking into." The crew braced themselves as the celestial Voyager emerged from the swirling anomalies. Before them lay the remains of the Recon fleet, debris scattered like the remnants of a fierce battle. The sight was both awe-inspiring and sobering. "Scanners are picking up faint energy signatures," Sinclair said. "We should investigate further." Jonathan agreed. "Hayes, take us in closer. Dr. Sinclair, prepare an away team. We need to understand what happened here." As the ship maneuvered closer, the sense of foreboding deepened. The wreckage told a grim story, one that hinted at a confrontation with a force far more advanced than their own. Jonathan couldn't help but wonder if they were next on the list. The away team, led by Dr. Sinclair, donned their gear and prepared to board the largest of the wrecked ships. As they entered, the eerie silence was broken only by the soft hum of their equipment. The corridors were littered with signs of struggle, but no bodies were found. "Captain, this place is a tomb," Sinclair reported through the comm link. "No survivors, just this alien tech. It's integrated with the ship's systems in ways I can't yet understand." "Bring back whatever you can," Jonathan ordered. "We need all the information we can get." As the team gathered samples and data, a sudden tremor rocked the celestial Voyager. Jonathan's heart raced as he realized they were not alone. The ship's sensors flared to life, detecting an approaching entity. "Hayes, what's out there?" Jonathan demanded. "Unknown vessel, Captain. It's massive and it's closing in fast," Hayes replied, his voice tense. "All hands to battle stations," Jonathan commanded. "Prepare to engage." The crew sprang into action, their training and experience guiding them through the rapid escalation. The alien ship loomed large on the viewscreen, an imposing presence that dwarfed their own vessel. "They're scanning us," Sinclair reported, urgency in her voice. "I can't tell if they're hostile or not." Jonathan made a swift decision. "Open a channel. Let's see if we can communicate." Static filled the comms for a moment before a deep, resonant voice spoke. "You have trespassed into forbidden space. Identify yourselves." "This is Captain Jonathan Archer of the Galactic Council exploratory vessel Celestial Voyager," Jonathan responded. "We mean no harm. We are investigating the loss of our Recon fleet." There was a pause before the voice replied, "Your presence here is a violation. Prepare to be boarded." The transmission cut off, leaving Jonathan with a sinking feeling. "All hands, prepare for potential boarding. We need to show them we mean no threat." As the alien ship drew closer, grappling hooks latched onto the celestial Voyager. Jonathan stood at the ready, his crew behind him. The air was thick with anticipation, and the unknown loomed over them like a storm cloud. The airlock hissed open, and figures in advanced suits stepped through. They moved with precision, their eyes scanning the surroundings. One stepped forward, removing their helmet to reveal a humanoid face, stern and unyielding. "You are in violation of our space," the leader stated. Explain your presence or face the consequences. Jonathan took a deep breath. We are here on a mission of peace. Our fleet was investigating a signal and was attacked. We seek only to understand what happened and to ensure the safety of our people. The alien leader studied him for a moment before nodding slightly. Very well, Captain Archer. We will hear you out. But know this. Your presence here is highly unwelcome, and any misstep will be met with swift retribution. Jonathan and his crew found themselves in the alien vessel's conference chamber. Its sleek design and advanced technology a stark contrast to their own. The leader of the alien contingent, Commander Thaler, regarded them with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. Jonathan knew that their next words could make or break this fragile encounter. Commander Thaler, Jonathan began, maintaining steady eye contact. We are here on a mission of exploration and peace. Our fleet was investigating a signal when they were attacked. We seek to understand what happened and to ensure mutual safety. Thaler's eyes narrowed slightly. Your presence here has disrupted our territory. We do not take kindly to intrusions. Dr. Sinclair, seated beside Jonathan, leaned forward. We found evidence of your technology integrated with our ships. It suggests there might be common ground for cooperation. Thaler seemed to consider this. Our technology is not meant for your use. It was a mistake that your people stumbled upon it. However, we are willing to listen. Jonathan felt a small surge of hope. We don't want conflict. We only wish to uncover the truth and find a way forward that benefits both our species. A moment of silence followed, broken only by the soft hum of the ship's systems. Thaler finally nodded. Very well, Captain Archer. We will share our findings. But understand this. Any attempt to misuse our technology will be met with severe consequences. As they began exchanging information, the ship's atmosphere seemed to lighten slightly. Dr. Sinclair and the alien scientists found a shared interest in the anomalous signals, leading to a productive discussion about their origins and implications. Back on the Celestial Voyager, the crew worked tirelessly to analyze the data they had gathered. O'Connor, ever the diligent engineer, was particularly focused on deciphering the alien technology. Captain, O'Connor said, looking up from his console, I've managed to isolate the energy readings from the alien device. It's part of a larger network, possibly a defense mechanism. Jonathan frowned. Defense against what? Before O'Connor could respond, the ship's alarms blared. Hayes' voice came over the comm. Captain, we've got incoming. Multiple unidentified vessels heading our way. Jonathan's heart raced. All hands to battle stations. Prepare for evasive maneuvers. The Celestial Voyager shuddered as the alien ships approached, their intentions unmistakably hostile. Jonathan barked orders, coordinating the crew's efforts to fend off the attackers. The ship's defenses activated, but the alien vessels were relentless. Captain, their firepower is overwhelming, Hayes reported, his tone grim. We can't hold them off for long. Dr. Sinclair's voice cut through the chaos. Jonathan, I've discovered something. The alien technology on our ship, it can create a defensive barrier, but we need to activate it now. Jonathan didn't hesitate. Do it, Doctor. We need every advantage we can get. Sinclair worked quickly, her fingers flying over the controls. The ship's systems hummed with newfound energy as the alien device integrated fully. A shimmering barrier enveloped the Celestial Voyager, absorbing the enemy fire and giving them a much-needed respite. Thaler's voice came through the calm despite the situation. Captain Archer, we are aware of the attack. We will provide assistance. True to his word, the alien ship's advanced weaponry targeted the hostile vessels, driving them back. Within moments, the threat was neutralized, leaving the Celestial Voyager and Thaler's ship victorious. Jonathan let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. Thank you, Commander Thaler. We owe you our lives. Thaler's expression softened slightly. Consider it a gesture of goodwill. Perhaps there is hope for cooperation after all. As the immediate danger passed, the crews of both ships continued their collaboration. The shared threat had forged an unexpected bond, one that held the promise of future alliances and shared knowledge. Back in the conference chamber, Jonathan and Thaler stood facing each other, a new understanding between them. "Commander, we have much to learn from each other," Jonathan said. "I believe this is the beginning of a beneficial relationship." Thaler inclined his head. "Indeed, Captain Archer. Let us move forward with mutual respect and cooperation." As Jonathan returned to his ship, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had faced a formidable challenge and emerged stronger, with new allies and a deeper understanding of the universe they sought to explore. As the celestial Voyager returned to its original course, Jonathan Archer stood on the bridge, contemplating their next move. The alliance with Commander Thaler's people had provided them with crucial insights, but there was still much to uncover. The ship's atmosphere buzzed with a renewed sense of purpose as the crew prepared for the challenges ahead. "Captain, we've received a message from the Galactic Council," Hayes announced. "They want a full report on our findings and the status of our mission." Jonathan nodded. "Prepare a secure transmission. We need to inform them of our progress and the potential for an alliance." Dr. Sinclair joined him, her expression a mix of excitement and concern. "Captain, I believe the alien technology we've integrated could revolutionize our defensive capabilities. But we need to understand it fully before we can safely implement it." Jonathan agreed. "We'll proceed with caution, Doctor. Your expertise will be essential in ensuring we use this technology responsibly." As they worked on the report, the ship sensors detected an anomaly. O'Connor's voice crackled over the intercom. "Captain, there's something you need to see. It's coming from the alien device." Jonathan and Sinclair hurried to the engineering bay, where O'Connor was analyzing the data. "It's a message, Captain," O'Connor explained, "encoded within the device. It seems to be a warning." The screen displayed a series of symbols and patterns, gradually translating into a coherent message. "Beware the void. The enemy you face is older than you can imagine. They seek to consume and conquer." Jonathan's mind raced. "This changes everything. We need to find out more about this threat. If it's as powerful as this message suggests, we're all in grave danger." With this new information, Jonathan convened a meeting with his senior officers. "We need to prepare for the possibility that we're facing an ancient and formidable enemy. Our priority is to gather intelligence and find a way to counter this threat." The crew worked tirelessly, poring over every piece of data they had collected. Sinclair's analysis of the alien technology revealed that it was designed not just for defense, but also for detection and communication across vast distances. This could be their key to uncovering more about the enemy. As they implemented the technology, the celestial Voyager detected a signal. It was faint but consistent, coming from a distant star system. Jonathan decided to investigate, hoping it would provide the answers they needed. The journey to the star system was uneventful, but the anticipation grew with each passing moment. When they arrived, they found an ancient space station, dormant yet intact. Jonathan led an away team to explore the station, leaving Hayes in command of the ship. Inside the station, they found evidence of a long-lost civilization. The walls were adorned with intricate carvings and symbols, telling the story of a race that had faced the same enemy eons ago. Dr. Sinclair's eyes lit up as she examined the carvings. "Captain, this station could hold the key to understanding how to defeat this threat." They discovered a central chamber, where a holographic projection activated, displaying a figure who introduced himself as the last guardian of this station. "We fought the darkness but could not overcome it. Our knowledge is now yours. Use it wisely." The projection provided detailed information about the enemy's weaknesses and strategies. Jonathan knew this was the breakthrough they needed. "We have to get this back to the Council," he said. "This knowledge could save us all." As they returned to the celestial Voyager, a sense of urgency and determination drove them forward. They transmitted the data to the Galactic Council and began preparing their defenses based on the newfound knowledge. The Council's response was immediate and supportive. They authorized the deployment of resources and personnel to assist in the preparation and defense against the looming threat. Jonathan addressed his crew, his voice filled with resolve. We've taken the first step in protecting our galaxy, but the fight is far from over. We must remain vigilant and work together to ensure our survival." The crew's response was unanimous. They were ready to face whatever came their way, united by a common purpose and strengthened by the alliances they had forged. As the celestial Voyager continued its mission, Jonathan couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in his crew. They had faced insurmountable odds and emerged stronger, armed with knowledge and determination. The journey ahead would be perilous, but they were prepared. The stars stretched out before them, a reminder of both the vastness of their universe and the challenges that lay ahead. Jonathan knew that their journey was far from over, but with his crew by his side and the support of newfound allies, they would face whatever came with unwavering resolve.